My mom loved this lady. I grew up loving this woman. She's like a second mom to us. Making her understand how much pain FGM has caused me might make her rethink and stop cutting. Allah da huitana kina ngara ba imeda na do kiganta bana. Ma necessary intenya pour nan continue ke golle.
Telu ni muso manta wulo kono. Amambeti akinganyade. Sina mal safo imaji. Nke matata muso mennati harji utala. Ni membije ima bondi.
As much as I wanted to be angry and as much as I wanted to blame her, she's as much of a victim as any one of us is. Coming out of that room, it just showed me I was naive about everything. Like I had to wake up and face all of these things. I didn't know I was mutilated as a baby until I was 15. My clitoris was cut off when I was a week old, and this is something that happens to nearly all the girls in the Gambia. It's called female genital mutilation. When I was 8 years old, my marriage was arranged to a guy that lived in New York. I wasn't eligible to live with him because I was still very, very young. And when I hit puberty, that was when I was going to be eligible to get married. And that's when my horror started. I arrived in New York on Christmas Day. My husband was at the airport to pick me up. As soon as I get to my aunt and uncle's house, there was people, there was cooking, there was everything. And I knew that that was it. The night of the marriage, they had like an older woman, kind of like a sex advisor that would tell you about what to do. You know, this is the position to make it more comfortable, or this is the products that you can use to kind of lessen the pain. This woman actually baits you. She rubbed perfume lotion all over me. They made me wear white lingerie. They took me to his house. When I got there, they took me inside the room. Then they left me there by myself with him. I cried the whole time. When you're infibrillated, you can't really have sex until you're cut back open. That's when they decided to take me to a doctor in downtown Manhattan to be reopened. And this doctor told me I had to have sex right away in order to keep it open. That's when I realized what it meant to be infibrillated and what FGM actually means. My husband, Haji, he was more open than the first marriage. He was in the business of controlling me. Daddy's gonna go make you food. Come on, go with Daddy. Come on. We started a family. Abu! I remember being at work and talking with some of my friends about their relationship. You know, at that point, then you realize, okay, am I missing something? Because the things that they're talking about is not the things that you're experiencing. Then I started talking to other girls that are African that have been through FGM, and I realized that they were all feeling the same thing I was feeling. So it just made me want to research, trying to find answers, trying to understand my own body. You know, how can I enjoy sex? How can I reverse this? Once I found out that this was permanent, it just kind of made me, something has to change. Then I saw a news article from the UK. They did this petition there, and as a result, the education minister was writing to all the schools to set up guidelines to deal with FGM. And I was like, you know, I can do this in the US. I went on change.org. I wrote a petition. I wanted the Obama administration to conduct a study on FGM in the United States. Okay. I started tweeting about it. I started looking for people to support the idea. And then Equality Now decided to add their name to the petition. When The Guardian came on board, the numbers started going up. We went from 10 signatures a day to thousands of signatures a day.
Just past 83,000. That's amazing.
Over 200,000 people signed our Change.org petition.
People will think your mama is right and Obama needs to do something.
Female genital mutilation is barbaric and should be eliminated.
This shows that ordinary people can believe in something and make a difference and make a change. FGM is not prescribed by Islam. Even Allah didn't think about putting that in the Quran. My brother, I think it's not necessary. I think we don't need to put our kids through that much pain.
It's like I'm somehow about to be convinced.
I'm having one. Maybe I can save that one.
Please, I would love that.
Angatu hoinke kita nagul nya la Kenya woni America aro bire no ga o wadiga mun le nyakari londi nen kibare ke kay anda fam Kenya ni koy galla hini kolli yere ona soron trindi ko sunnan nen kibare ke himbe gani o ga dabari ni
sunnan den pitigi problème yi de serenga ma sunne lemmen tarni
la gebe ko nanti ko ga le munun tunnan ni kenna mane ken kibare na kam
ati mantor
ken mantor na kam ana ro ga le munun tunnan bire le munun tunnan ni ko sare to ma sare ga nya ga no ma ya ga ma mali sunnan le basare
lemmen ga ma ya ga su ga ma sunnan ta sare ne tenku
This was the first time there was ever an open debate about FGM. And it's really, really amazing. You know, FGM is a practice that you can't reverse. Once a girl has gone through that, is a practice that they live with for the rest of their lives.
Is it really true that it will reduce sexual desire?
The clitoris of a woman is sensual part of a woman's body. That's how you feel, that's what makes you gain pleasure. When that clitoris is cut off, you don't get that feeling. Every time your husband is having sex with you, when he's enjoying it, you're laying there in pain, and that's not fair to women.
Is it a sunnah?
FGM is not sunnah.
But day before yesterday, they said that FGM is a sunnah.
The Prophet does not condone violence against women, and FGM is actually violence against women. I'm going over to my dad's house, telling everyone else they shouldn't practice FGM, while I haven't had that conversation with my family. It looks a bit hypocritical. All the girls in my family have been cut. It's something we've never spoken about.
ken ko anga dun ken ta ngat nan islam ko ndi wati ni le nyakari londi den ni sunna nyai
ko ni to mu yana ko ni nanti sunna nyai
ken ni nga ke golle be sa America nga ni baka tele ndaro newspaper ni ndi manda ribare mu
ejiya ko yo wala
ko londi den ribare ke nge we ni ko haro ki menu family ken ko ni mba ber ndi kan suro nya toro
nandi nanga la Kenya na mu ado andi nanga bala hibe na kenda na Kenya.
It's important to keep the conversation going because my dad has a lot of daughters and they have a lot of daughters as well. If my dad changes his mind, a lot of girls can be saved. I'll go say hi to everyone.
We'll go get them.
T-shirt for me, small. You guys are okay, right? Ready to go? We invited veteran activists from all the organizations in the Gambia, prominent people from the UN, people from the government. And this has never happened in the Gambia. They've never came together to work on one goal.
When I first started talking about FGM, for one, I was afraid. I'm a Sarahule, and I didn't know what my family would think. I didn't know what the outcome would be. I'm very, very pleased that the Gambian government is here Because I think that in order for us to achieve change, we need you guys to help us do that. We need to empower our girls, and we need to make sure that no girl child is at risk of FGM in this country.
Female genital mutilation makes it much more likely for you to have complications. This is a real picture. I saw this lady myself in my clinic. This girl was about 26 years old, married for about 2-3 years, didn't have a child, and was convinced by the relatives that the reason you're not having a child is because you were not cut. So they went to this old lady who used a razor blade under no form of anesthesia. They removed, as you can see, the clitoris and part of the labia minora. This lady knew nothing about anatomy. She just cut down. And when she cut down, she also cut the urethra, which is the opening that passes the urine. She will be having lots of infections in her life that may destroy her kidneys finally, and this girl's sexual life has been totally destroyed.
Do you think there is sufficient political will on the part of the government?
We are here to hold them accountable, but we want to work in partnership with them. If they don't help us, we can't achieve what we want.
The real movers, the real changes of public opinion are the imams. And even the imam of the president, Imam Fadi, he said FGM is Islamic.
I've heard Imam Fadi's claims. He's an elder and I respect him, but I went through FGM and I know how it affects me. And if he needs me to sit down and talk to him about that, I'm open to that.
What would be the pinnacle of achievement?
If we can get a national ban on FGM in the Gambia, that would be it.
We are on our way to meet Imam Fati, and he's like the most influential imam in the country. He's always on TV, radio, and print media. And he uses those platforms to spread his pro-FGM messages. He was the State House Imam to the president. He's also a member of the Supreme Islamic Council.
I hear about you and your campaign. You are fighting female circumcision and say that it's not Islamic. No one who fear Allah says circumcision is not Islamic. It's Islamic. Our mothers, our grandmothers, they are practicing this practice. You cannot point your finger at a single girl in the Gambia that she was died because of she went through circumcision. Have you it?
When I was about 8 years old, my dad has 4 wives, and one of my stepmom, her daughter went through FGM, and then she later bled a lot, and as a result of that, she died. Hurting people, torturing people, it's not right in Islam. I am confident in what I'm doing. I'm not doing this because I'm getting paid to do it. I'm not doing it because someone is telling me to do it. It's just when I got married as a 15-year-old and when I delivered my kids, because of the scar tissue that I have and the pain that I went through, I decided for myself that I wanted to do this. And, with my dad, he's still not convinced that what I'm doing is good. But
your father is a popular man in the Sarakule community. So when you are now leading the campaign against that, your father will never agree with you. He will prefer to lose you than to lose his faith.
We all make mistakes, and I'm new at this. I'm going to, sometimes get it right. Sometimes I'm not going to get it right. And it's very important for me to learn from people like you because of, you're very influential and you're very credible. You know your religion.
Do it is better than not do it.
Most people believe that it's a religious obligation.
We say it clearly. If you want to do it, do it. If you don't, left it. But, okay, it's not compulsory.
I like that you said that. Okay. And I think if we can make that clear to our people, that it's not something that compulsory.
That's clear here.
It's a choice, right?
It's
it will
choice.
be a choice.
It's your choice. So we agree on that.
For someone like him to say that it's a choice,
I think will make a difference to people that think that this is a must. You get what I'm saying?
That's definitely true.
So like we can use that as an angle of our campaign.
We are going over to my dad's house. His youngest wife just had a baby. I want to talk my dad out of mutilating his daughter. She was born when I'm here doing a campaign against FGM. If I can't prevent my own sister from going through FGM as an activist against this practice, then what I'm doing is not really effective.
Mane maza kanini allo nyagaru le nyagaru mane namma kyani lani anna bani ke rondia goyenga sunna kama ke rondi no mane maza kempe sangi kama ka dabari okay mpa ikenye kendi wonta maka yimbe dara mane maza nanti kada nyadi bani kenta siranya ana kini mbaba gana tanda manga da baranta da bar mbairo mbaba gana tanda manga da baranta da bar mbaba gana tanda manga da baranta mbairo anako nandangani ka. I have so much respect for my dad. I never want to tell him something that I think is going to hurt him. But in this case, I didn't care what he thought. I just think it's important for me to tell him why this girl needs to stay the way she was created. As a result of my campaign, he's actually spent some time to research FGM and how harmful it is to women. It's huge for him to actually accept that and for him to say that. My dad agreed not to cut baby Khadija. I'm going to be the first baby in my family to not go through FGM. Kanta rondin. Yo kama ka rondi ka. No, seriously. You sure? High five. Okay, bye-bye. Good night. 3 days after I met with most of his cabinet members, I received a call that the president was about to make a big announcement about FGM.
For 21 years, I've been researching to see where it is stated in the Quran that this should happen. I've not seen it. FGM is banned as from today from the surface of this country.
I want Gambia to know how proud I am and how happy I am that this happened.
This is just the beginning. It's not over yet until all the girls are protected.